Okay, so today we are going to compare fractions by creating equivalent fractions with a common denominator. So let's go ahead and get started. To review, first, we need to know how to make equivalent fractions. So those are created by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. For example, 2/3, we can multiply 2/3. We can multiply them both by 4. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So 8/12 is equal to 2/3 because we multiplied both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Another example, 5/8. Let's multiply that by 6. So 5 times 6 and 8 times 6. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. 8 times 6 is 48. So 30/48 is equal to 5/8, right? And you can choose any number that you want to multiply the fraction by. It doesn't matter what number you choose. It just has to be the same number for both the top and the bottom. And this technically works because we're multiplying the fraction technically by 1. Because if you look here, 2/3 times 4/4. Well, let's look at this 4/4. Okay? 4/4. We have 4 parts in our total. And we have all 4 of those parts, right? So 4 of those fourths are here. 4 of those fourths are here, which makes 1 whole. So we're technically multiplying 2/3 times 1. So we're not changing the value of it because 4/4 is equal to 1 whole. That's why you have to multiply both the top and the bottom by the same number, because when you multiply them both by the same number, you're technically multiplying by 1. Okay, because 5/5 is equal to 1, 6/6 is equal to 1, and so on and so forth. So you have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number because we're trying to keep it the same value. And so we know that anything times 1 is equal to itself. So here's how we do it. We have 5/7 and 8/11. Our first step is to get a common denominator. And to do that, you're just going to multiply the denominators by the opposite denominator. So 7, the opposite denominator is 11, so I'm going to multiply 7 times 11. And then I'm going to multiply 11 times 7. And that gives us a common denominator of 77, right? Now I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing. So now I have to go back and adjust my numerator. So I multiplied this 11 by 7, so I've multiplied 8 times 7, which is equal to 56. And then I multiply this 7 by 11, so I have to multiply 5 times 11, and that gives me 55. Now I can compare them, and I see that 56 is bigger than 55, so we can go like that, which means that 8/11 is greater than 5/7. Because 56/77 is equal to 8/11, and 5/7 is equal to 55/77. So 56/77 is greater than 55/77. Therefore, 8/11 is bigger than 5/7. Next, we're going to get a common denominator here. So I'm going to multiply the denominators by the opposite denominator. So 8 and 7. So I'm going to multiply multiply the 8 by 7, and then 7 times 8. And that'll give us a common denominator of 56. Now I need to go back and adjust my numerators. So I multiplied the 7 times 8, so I got to multiply the 2 times 8, which gives me 16. And then 3 times 7, which is 21. Okay, and I know that 21 is greater than 16. So 21/56 is greater than 16/56. Therefore, 3/8 is greater than 2/7. Because these right here are equivalent fractions, the 56ths are equivalent to the top ones. Next, we have 6/10 and 3/5. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by the opposite denominator to get a common denominator. So 10 times 5 and 5 times 10, which gets us a common denominator of 50. Now I have to go back and adjust my numerator. So I multiplied 5 times 10, so I have to multiply 3 times 10, which gives me 30. And then 6 times 5, because I multiplied 10 times 5. So 6 times 5 is also 30, which tells me that these are equal, because 30/50 is equal to 30/50. I can even go back and check. Oh, whoops. I can even go back and check, because 6/10 and 3/5. Okay, if I divide both of these by 2, I get that. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, yep, they are equal to each other. Last one. Okay, I'm going to multiply by the opposite denominator. So, 5 and 9, so 9, or 5 times 9, and then 9 times 5. That gives us a common denominator of 45. And now I go back and adjust my numerator. So I multiplied 9 times 5, so I have to multiply my 8 times 5 as well, which will give me 40. And then I have to multiply my 4 times 9, because I multiplied 5 times 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. Well, 40 45ths is bigger than 36 45ths. And since 40 45ths is equivalent to 8 ninths, that means that 8 ninths is bigger than 4/5.